Welcome back to Top 10 Tunes. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 love songs guaranteed to melt your heart. At number 10 is All of Me by John Legend. Despite having a powerful and soulful voice, Legend underplays this to deliver a tender emotional ballad. With solely piano accompaniment and frequent use of his falsetto in the chorus, we are provided with a vulnerable intimacy that would otherwise be unavailable in a larger production or arrangement. Ironically, all of John Legend is professed by presenting as minimal as possible, nothing to hide and all left bare. Number 9 is Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. Written for the film Blue Hawaii, the king of rock and roll was in the theos of movie stardom. But this did nothing to diminish his potency as an artist or vocalist. The quiver ever present in Elvis's voice invokes tenderness and a nervousness to be honest with oneself that we feel in the song's narrator. Interestingly, this song was originally supposed to be sung from a woman's perspective. Perhaps this is why it resonates so strongly with couples and is often selected for newlyweds' first dance. Coming in at number 8 is How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. While the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever doesn't transcend musical trends and time periods as seamlessly as other records, its resident ballad is the standout love song from the disco era. Lush strings and vocal harmonies don't feel out of place on this ballad as they're ingrained in the genre itself. Sentimentally, and to an extent cliche, aren't ignored but rather encouraged and celebrated. How Deep Is Your Love is very much of its time, but it's a love song whose legacy is bolstered by all of those who lavish the dance floor with glitter and sequin. Coming in at number 7 is Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. The debut single from this normally explosive performer, to say his debut was understated in the grand scheme of his artistry and performance aesthetic, is an understatement. Nonetheless, it joins the pantheon of love songs that are straight to the point and don't overcomplicate the narrative. In doing this, Mars' debut felt like a release from an experienced artist and a mature and seasoned piece of pop song craft. At number 6 is God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. This song takes the traditional love song formula and completely turns it on its head. The song begins with I may not always love you and begins to lament about a life without the subject of affection. While on paper the lyrics may appear quite cynical and at times depressing, Brian Wilson's lyrics are presented with unabashed honesty, integrity, and a fresh approach towards a lyrical subject that more often than not borders on cliche. What a genius way to present the importance of love. Ponder living without it. Rounding us out at number 5 is Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. The most recent song on this list, Thinking Out Loud, has already become a wedding favorite and hosts praise from the likes of Stevie Wonder as being one of the greatest love songs of all time. Its slow yet dramatic, dynamic cadence makes for a wonderful build-up on its simple 4-chord structure. While the chords do change for the pre-chorus, the repetition of the chorus progression puts further emphasis on the lyrical content and Sheeran's heart-on-the-sleeve delivery. Ultimately, Thinking Out Loud has already cemented itself as a classic. At number 4 is My Funny Valentine by Chet Baker. While the song is a jazz standard that has been performed by countless artists, Chet Baker's 1954 recording became both the definitive version of the song and Baker's signature. While Baker was a well-established and accomplished trumpet player and helped to define the cool jazz aesthetic, his vocal performance on My Funny Valentine was particularly delicate, only just audible and incredibly intimate. It can be argued that this recording of the song not only firmly established cool jazz as a dominant subgenre, but it also a direct link from jazz to mainstream pop. Number 3 is Something by the Beatles. By the decline of the Beatles as a band in the late 60s came the emergence of George Harrison as a powerful songwriter in his own right. While a few of his songs had appeared on previous albums, it was on Abbey Road that his solo career was foreshadowed, and Something was such a powerful songwriting statement that it was selected as the lead single above the more commonplace Lennon and McCartney compositions. Harrison's concept of love is contemplated on a more romantic and spiritual level, and this complexity created layers to the song that have allowed it to endure and be subject to many interpretations and performances. Coming in at number 2 is She by Elvis Costello. Performing a cover of this Charles Aznavour song in a similar vein to that of jazz standard, Costello's performance of She for the film Notting Hill is something of a beautiful enigma. The lyrics are already full of duality, uncontradicting statements, and this back and forth between pleasure and regret is further emphasized by Costello's own bipolar vocal performance. At times he sings gently, at others he reveals his aged punk sneer. She comes across as more than just a love song, but rather a commentary on relationships and the complex story they leave to tell. Finally, at number 1, we have Your Song by Elton John. As with the majority of Elton John's catalog, the lyrics of Your Song were written by Bernie Taupin, but it was the marriage of the lyrics with Elton John's ingenious harmonic and melodic choices that have allowed Your Song to remain a poignant yet ambitious love song. This song helped build the template for the singer-songwriter ballad. While this means it has often been emulated and simply copied many times, the poetic imagery of a meandering mind in love lets this song belong to anyone's object of affection. Thanks so much for watching Top 10 Tunes. Maybe you'll check out one of these songs to add to your Valentine's Day playlist, or maybe you'd like to comment with your favorite Valentine's Day song. Either way, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.